Are we live? We're live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you can play board games with us. This is our honest review section of our Spotlight stream, where we talk about the game that we just played, in this case, Bang Wed Murder, and talk about what we liked about the game, what wasn't our favorite, and what we would change if given the opportunity. So, as I said, this is the review section of our Spotlight. If you haven't checked it out yet, go watch that video on demand style. Super duper good. Because we're in it, and we're fantastic. But who are we? We're Twist Gaming. I'm Matt, and this is...
Ann?
I'm Aaron.
I'm Panda.
Josh.
You're not Panda.
Not Panda.
Alright, so this is Honest Review. Would like to point out that this stream and all of this week's streams are sponsored by Bang Wed Murder, so big shout out to them for that. Thank you very much. And first we're going to talk about what we liked about the game. And as is tradition here at Twist Gaming, the winner goes first. Panda.
That's the tradition?
Yep.
I don't think I've ever won.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks.
Is that what you liked about the game? I win.
How do you win?
I win.
So, if I'm talking about things that I liked, as far as party games go, I do find like Cards Against Humanity to be a bit tedious. Like there's one card, there's one answer. As far as this goes, I like that there's a little bit more variety. There wasn't like necessarily a winner every round, and sometimes you could have two winners. That's something I liked about it. There was a lot of options. I don't think it got too repetitive. So we didn't even go through nearly as many cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went through maybe a tenth of the cards.
There's a lot of cards here. How many would you say there are off the top of your head?
360,
350?
something like that.
Something like that?
So I like that there's a lot of variety. Each card felt different.
Physically felt different?
Physically felt different. And they were hard. Like,
Oh,
The cards were hard.
enough, Josh.
so the object of the game is to basically match up what you would want to do, what you wouldn't want to do, with the three options for the three description of
Right, it's
available.
F, marry, kill, but with different scenarios, not just F, marry, and kill.
You're right, but there's three of them for three. So there's
Right.
like 9 different options, I believe.
No.
Can't know.
I don't know.
Something. There's a lot of options. So I like that it every aspect felt difficult. Like there weren't like very obvious choices, and I really had to stop and think about it. So I like that about the game. Yeah. Josh, what did you think?
Yeah, it was something different from. This is a very light party game, not very Cards Against Humanity. Yes, that
Yeah.
that genre of
Drinking.
drinking
Hanging out with
Raunchy.
friends, being raunchy and dirty, and having a
Yes.
bunch of laughs in the process. Which
and have some
I almost died once or twice.
possibly offensive cards, but like
Well, we know that Aaron
That's what it
wants to
is.
have sex with Brad Pitt now, so
Yeah.
who doesn't?
I'm trying to look for the one card I saw in here, but I can't find it.
One thing that I would like to point out here is one thing I liked about this game that Cards Against Humanity suffers for is I drew these terrible cards, so I'm just going to play something stupid because I don't care.
Yeah. There
And
was-
that's what makes Cards Against Humanity feel really tedious at times, is when
you're not excited about
Bad
it.
hand.
Right, you're just like, there's nothing I could play about this, I'm just going to throw mine in. I know I lost, so I'm just going to phase out until...
I guess
you know.
something good.
So this kept you engaged every round, so...
So I have this card I want to show off what this game is. There you go, Matt. Can you read that
Milk,
for us?
tip over, and artificially inseminate. A cow, an elephant, and your mom.
Yep.
Like, which one do you pick? I don't know.
You're thinking
I have
about
nipples,
it.
Greg. Can you milk me? I mean, you milk the cow, you artificially
this is-
inseminate the elephant,
There
you
we
tip
go.
over your mom. I don't want to milk your mom, and I don't want to artificially inseminate your mom.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the obvious choice there,
You
but
don't
it's
want to be Josh's
You want to
stepdaddy?
naturally inseminate your mom?
it's Aaron. And the most offensive comment of the night goes to...
So yeah, there wasn't a lot of circumstances where there's nothing I can do. So
Mhm.
that's fun about the game.
It's an easy, quick game to pick up. It's, how many rules are there? 6, you said?
8. I think
There's
it's
6
something 8.
steps.
6
I
steps.
don't
There
even
we
know that
go.
those are all rules.
No.
Yeah.
Steps, yeah.
So, Anne, Aaron, anything you all would like to add in there?
My favorite part was learning about people. I feel like I know them so much better now.
For the worse, right?
that remains to be seen, but I definitely have more information.
It can only help you in the long run, right?
I think you
Depends on how well I can sleep at night.
I think you guys kind of hit all the points. I really liked your observation about Cards Against Humanity. I feel like this game is easily comparable to Cards Against Humanity and other games in that vein, and it was a very good observation. Like even Joking Hazard, I feel like you get stuck with the same thing. If you draw a bad hand, not all of those
Nothing I have
panels.
makes sense.
So I'm just gonna burn my cards that way. Here, you're not burning cards. If the question is lame, you can skip the question. And if the question is not a question you're in the mood for, then you can skip the question entirely.
But everyone has the same options available.
Yeah.
To answer, yeah.
I kind of liked it better.
All right, so is there anything else that we want to add into the things we liked about the game?
I think it was very quick, simple, easy to pick up, good drinking game.
Matt likes dwarfs.
I do like dwarves. Thank you for pointing that out. Watch the Spotlight, you'll understand if you haven't.
No, you won't.
Matt, what are things that you would like to change?
Some of the things I'd like to change. So, honestly, the one major complaint that I have, Josh, if you could show that off, and then we have our 1, 2, 3 ABC cards here that we matched them up with, and on more than one occasion, I confused myself as to matching what up with what, and I had to go back
It didn't
and
feel
like,
intuitive.
And the biggest problem with that is that it is nice that the choices change every single time, because it gives you a lot of variety to it, but at the same time, it adds a little bit of confusion to it.
Twice I put down answers, and when I was flipping over the cards, like the party bus one,
Yes.
I know I did
That's
incorrectly.
not what I meant to do.
Yeah,
I just think
and I was
the
like,
wrong thing.
dang.
Mhm. And I don't know of a way that I would improve that, given the way that this is laid out off the top of my head, unless you
Personally, I would switch the 1, 2, 3 and the ABC with the things and the actions.
What do you mean?
I think
1, 2, 3 should be your choices, and ABC should be your
I feel like
actions.
it wasn't very
Yeah, it
consistent.
just-
Like there were different ways. Like sometimes it would do like the bigger, the smaller, stay the same at the top and have the description. It wasn't always the same format, which wasn't a bad thing. I don't think it made it more difficult, but it didn't really make
Aid
it
it.
easier either way.
Yeah.
I think us laying our cards out helped. So I think having something like maybe even a little foldable thing that you could
Like a trifold player.
trifold,
mat.
right, and then lay out so that it was always there.
I think maybe
Because there's no guidelines for it in the setup or anything like that.
Right.
So I think we were a little ahead of the game when we decided to do that.
Yeah, I think that helped as well. And yeah, I think the player mat would definitely make things a little easier there, just because even still, we already all knew 1, 2, or 3 was in our hands. And
Right.
then I'd still find myself swapping them visually. I don't know if I was the only one with
yeah,
that,
no,
but
I was
like,
thinking the same thing.
yeah,
wait, I thought this was that, and
because there's 3 options with 3 options, and it just became.
I almost thought it would be easier if we had 1, 2, 3 down and then we put an ABC on top of 1, 2, 3, just of how the cards were laid out, and that was just how we were playing.
what were you saying, TP?
I don't remember.
It'll come back to you, I'm sure.
Come back. Maybe if there was like a. Maybe if the cards were more like you flip the cards and like one had one option, one had the other option, you kind of put your vote. Or I don't know how that would work. Kind of like a weights and wager kind of thing. Where
You would
actually
also
put on the main
kind
board.
of that would kind of give away where
The person would have to do it first. I mean, I don't know if that would work, but just something. Maybe if it was like one main
Spitballing.
board, it would feel a little bit less
All over the place.
crisscrossy.
I got you. So, Anne, I know you're always a stickler for 2 major things in the game.
Yeah.
Did any of those meet your expectations, fall short of them?
I have 2 comments on the game.
Okay.
Okay. The first one, my norm is kind of like art. This is a really simple game. Art's not a big deal. I kind of like the gold gradient actually on the font. I think it's on the nice black background. It's a nice kind of eye-catching look, like a fancy look.
You know what it reminds me of, and I'm sorry to interrupt,
No.
but it reminds me of, if you could put it in the view, it reminds me of a divorce lawyer ad.
That looks good. Yes. If you keep that there,
Or
the
about
thing
anything
that
from the 80s.
Yeah.
I understand that this game is about pushing the boundaries of political correctness, right? It's supposed to be raunchy, it's supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be a lot of things. The fact that they used both of the symbols for homosexuality, I think is kind of lame. The icons on there are a knife, and then both icons for homosexuality, and I think that that's super lame.
No, one's
Oh, is it heterosexuality
Yeah, they
and
have
homosexuality?
they have a male-female one, and then they have a gender-neutral and then gender-fluid one. I don't know what they are. I'm just saying off the top of my head.
I think one's like a wedding band.
Wedding band,
Is it?
heterosexuality, and a knife. Oh, bang, wed, murder.
Oh, it's a wedding band. Oh, okay. I thought that was
I wasn't looking close enough.
Bang, wed, and murder. Those are symbols for bang, wed,
ha. That's
The
funny.
wedding bands,
That's what you do when you murder someone.
All right.
Use a knife in a wedding to put sacrifice.
You could
for
take
cutting
away
the
the
cake.
icons, and I'd be fine with the back of that card. Now I get it.
So redacted.
If you redacted, but if you don't, that wedding ring, the wedding bands. If you're not looking close enough,
it does look very similar to the
yeah.
symbol.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's small things. The biggest part is the ABC and 1, 2, 3 cards. I would have liked to see these in a stronger stock because I feel like you're playing a lot with these particular 6 cards, and I noticed this is our first time playing the card game, the first time opening up,
Oh, yeah, you got some faces.
I've got nails, so when I put it down sometimes or when I point, they'll leave nail marks in the back of the cards, and it would be nicer to see something a little stronger. Maybe laminate these ones. They
Like
already
just a
stand out
thicker
because they're
stock.
gold. Yeah, because they're gold, they stick out. But it would be something more durable because these are the ones you're mostly going to be playing
Yeah,
with.
even if they had them as like pop-out cardboard. I mean, I didn't even think of that. That's interesting though. That your nails left that much of an impression on
Yeah.
them already.
And maybe that would help too with matching things up if you did something like pop out cardboard icons. I mean, then you'd be really obvious about what you were playing. But whatever.
I can see the issues they may have run into as far as making it as easy as possible because there are drawbacks and
Yeah.
benefits and drawbacks
Yeah.
to whatever method you decided to use. Aaron, what do you think?
I don't have any issue with what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's designed to be it's a card game, so like I get that there's not like I talked about maybe having like us laying out the cards as a playmat or something, but I get why there's not
You wanna keep it as a pure
because it's not
card
portable.
game. Yeah.
The thought crossed my mind of it'd be nice to have something to keep score with. Whether that was a token or something
Yeah,
like
we ended up using cards. That's a good point.
Something like that. But I get why there's not because it's a card game. You could put it in your pocket. You could take it to the bar. So the fewer pieces that you have, the easier it is to transport. So that's why you don't have a lot of those things.
I feel like a big part of that too is that this isn't one of those games where the purpose of the game is to win.
Right.
It's to have fun and be raunchy and be silly with your friends.
Because I thought keeping something more sturdy to keep score with would be great for a drinking game because me having a couple of cards fanned out here is going to get knocked over or what have you.
Yeah.
But you're right. The point of this game is to sit around for an hour and bullshit with some people and make everybody uncomfortable and
Tell everyone that you're going to bang Brad Pitt now and
not
Channing
later.
Tatum in 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that right now.
Matt's upset you didn't choose Channing Tatum for now.
No, I had the same answers. Then.
Yeah, we did. Me, Matt, and Aaron all had the same answer.
I know what's up.
I think I also had the same answer.
Channing Tate Young. Anyways,
Someone clip that, please.
is there any other
Um,
comments that people have about the game that
Josh,
you guys
do
would
you
like
have
to make?
any?
There's a few cards in here that just don't make sense.
Such as?
There was one in here that just said 1, 2, 3.
Oh, like ranking them? 1, 2, 3?
I don't know if that was
could
the
be.
intention. I have no idea. Some of them they're so generically worded that I'm not 100% sure
So some
what
cards
they
are better
meant.
than others.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we had a couple of them there, which is like, okay, this is a fairly obvious choice. And then we had other ones there where we were dying laughing.
Yeah.
So,
Some of them were just kind of way too
I don't want to swim and come, Matt.
I still think you're wrong.
My opinions are invalid.
So here's one. I think this card shouldn't even be in the game.
Yeah, I agree, just because,
It's very obvious.
yeah, unless you're going what's funnier. But I guess that's up to the interpretation of the person,
A
but yeah, I
combination
agree.
of those on different cards wouldn't be bad, but in that order,
This
on
one card definitely fell
Yeah.
flat during.
I think there's a handful of these kind of cards in here, and like, if you're doing a game that's supposed to be somewhat, raunchy, or like make you have a somewhat of a difficult choice, there's no difficult choice here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what happens in life.
Yeah,
It's
gotcha.
generic. So that's my biggest thing I think with that is just some of these cards don't make complete sense, or they're just so blah.
Understandable. All right, so I think that pulls us into the final question of the evening of would you play it again? So winners first.
Sure. I would probably a game after I've had a couple drinks. It would be an interesting icebreaker in a circumstance where I've met the people before, but I'm starting to feel pretty comfortable. Everyone's knocked back a couple, and I want to get a couple laughs in. I'd probably pick this game up before Cards Against Humanity, just because I'm a little tired of it. It's kind of the same old, and that's like the typical party game.
Mm-hmm.
So if the two were on the shelf, I'd probably reach for this first for a nice change of pace. But it'd have to be someone that I'm at least a little bit moderately comfortable with. Probably not my first meeting with someone.
Gotcha.
Josh, would you play it again?
I probably wouldn't pull this out myself, but if I was in a group of people that I knew weren't big gamers, that like Cards Against Humanity or something, and wanted to play something, I might pull this out. I'd probably still pick out Joking Hazard over this, though, personally. I think that's a better wide audience kind of party game. I think, but this is still not, this is better than other games we've played of this kind of style, so.
Okay. I'm actually really close on the fence about this, but I'm going to have to lean towards no, and the only reason why is the voting mechanic felt just a tiny bit clunky to me, and with newer gamers, I could see that being more problematic.
Especially after a few drinks?
And then, yeah, a few drinks, and I know I was getting confused now. I haven't had anything to drink. I know after a couple of drinks, I'm not going to be paying attention, and I'm going to screw that up, and I'm going to get frustrated. So that's where I'm coming from with that. That being said, I would still play this before Cards Against Humanity and probably Joking Hazard 2. I enjoyed the style of this more just because I really hate the my cards suck, and that always seems to happen to me. So I did enjoy this one more than that, but the voting mechanism felt clunky to
So
me.
it fixed a lot of the main party game problems, but has a few.
Introduced its own, yeah.
An interesting thing you could do is you can go down the list, kind of, and say, all right, USA, and then that person would pick 1, 2, or 3, and everyone votes at once, and do it one at a time, if you wanted to make it easier.
Good. There are ways you could get around
There
that.
are ways
for sure.
you could work around
Absolutely.
it. I just thought of that while you were talking, so I wanted to bring that up.
I definitely think that I would play this again with the right group of people. I feel like this game has a couple of cards that are raunchier than Cards Against Humanity or Joking Hazard.
I don't know.
In different ways, though.
More sexually related than the other one seems like. There's some ones in Cards Against Humanity where it's bad.
Yeah, but I feel like this is a higher percentage of raunchy cards.
Point taken.
So I think that I would definitely consider my audience before bringing it out. It would have to be people who I felt more comfortable with. I would be more apt to break out Cards Against Humanity meeting people for the first time. I feel like it's more acceptable for that game to be raunchy, and maybe not this one, but I do like the gameplay in this game more than Cards Against Humanity or Joking Hazard.
Aaron, your thoughts?
I would play it again with a very select group of people.
Are we in that group?
I'm a private person, so a lot of this stuff is further than I may want to go sometimes.
Understandable.
I mean, I'm sure you may be able to. There's a lot of cards, so you may be able to edit the number of cards, and so if you left it with, Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt, and George Clooney cards, if that was the worst cards that were in there, you might be able to get away with having it be a wider berth of of who you may be able to play with if you got rid of some of your mom cards and stuff like that.
You could curate.
I would probably
deck.
have like an extreme version and a milder version. They're both fun. They're both great for their own purposes. But the things that are a little bit more extreme would prohibit me from bringing that out with new people.
I would also play it with a smaller group of people. I think 5 people was pretty good. I know we were talking before the stream. Should we try and get more people to come play this game with us? Do we want to demo it with a larger group of people? I'm kind of happy that it ended up being the 5 of us.
Might have been
because,
a little too chaotic.
yeah, I feel like with more people, it would get analysis paralysis.
Especially with newer people too.
I think
people
there
don't
are
spend as much time with.
specific circumstances in my mind that that pop out when I would have brought out this game, when I wouldn't necessarily brought out like another game like Cards Against Humanity or Drinking Hazard. Like I might have brought this out at the anniversary stream that we did. I feel like I know those people well enough. They have good sense of humors. Maybe not your birthday.
You should totally do it on your birthday.
I would do it on my birthday because I know the people that we were inviting.
I know the people we did. So I mean, there are circumstances where you're.
You guys think you're funny. Yes, I caught it.
No.
There are circumstances in my memory where a game like this would have been nice to have.
You should have played this with your coworkers.
No.
We have to know good. Yeah,
And then you
time to
answer
go
the
now.
question of having sex on your boss's desk. That's when you.
Oh
bring
yeah,
it
that's
forward.
great. All right, so is there anything else y'all want to add?
I think we're good. This game is available on Amazon. Check it out. The link is in the information below. It was a lot of fun. I had fun with you guys, and I think I'm a little bit more comfortable or less comfortable with you now.
I'm definitely less comfortable with all of you now.
Yeah.
You know, I really think this is an inappropriate friendship.
Not an inappropriate stream.
All right, well, thank you all for joining us this evening. This was our honest review section of our Spotlight stream of Bang Wed Murder. And once again, we would like to point out that this stream and all of this week's streams are sponsored by Bang Wed Murder, so big shout out to them for that as
Over
well.
the line party games.
Over the Line Party Games, correct. I couldn't think of the name.
I
There
got
go.
you, boo.
Thank you so much. So everyone, please follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all the fun stuff. We are
Discord.
Twist Gaming. Come chat with us in our Discord channel. Follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us, we really appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you all. Twist Gaming, Soft signing off for the evening. I'm Matt.
I'm Ann.
I'm Aaron.
Okay, then.
Josh.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Finger guns?
Yeah, finger guns.